Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vive, and I'm teaching flow for Battery Dance TV. Hey, I'm glad you joined. I have a really fluid combo that I'm teaching today. I created it in my living room just now, and it feels very organic. It feels very flow. So I'm excited to teach it. So Battery Dance TV, we have a channel. So if you go into the Battery Dance biography, we have a link that leads to our channel. And we have classes from the company members who teach every day. So there's a different company member that teaches, a couple of artists that teach every day. And then we also have discussions, conversations between our director and international guests. So if you are interested in all things dance, movement, stretch, different styles, conversations, you can visit Battery Dance TV. And we are doing this live class. We did it last week and doing it this week just to see if there is an audience for it. So I'm happy to be teaching again this week. And I understand that there's a lot of dance classes happening. So if you can't make it, that's okay too. I'll try to leave this class on the live story if you want to come back to it when you are available. So today I will do about 30-minute class. And we'll do a short warm-up, and then we'll go right into choreography. So I guess we can start on the floor, wherever you are in your space. Let's start in a butterfly position. So let's bring the soles of the feet together. You can grab the tops of the toes. You can gently drop the top of the head, letting the neck go, softening the shoulders, focusing on the breath. Gently waking up the hips. You can slightly press the knees down into the floor. We'll slowly round it up, stacking each vertebrae on top of one another. Let's transition the right leg on top. We'll press the right knee down, opening the chest, looking over the left shoulder. Allow the energy to grow past the shoulder into space. You can release the right knee, transition the left leg on top. Pressing the left knee down, opening the chest, looking over the right shoulder. And you can release the knee. Let's gently walk our hands forward. I'm going to take it all the way back. Demi-plie the left knee, open the right arm, opening the chest, take a look at the right hand, circle out the wrist, and reverse the circle. Release the arm, we bend both knees, and gently stretch. Demi-plie the right knee, open the left arm, open the chest, take a look at the hand, circle out the wrist, and reverse the circle. Release the arm, bend both knees, and gently stretch. Soften the knees, gently round it up, stacking each vertebrae on top of one another. Good, let's just wake up the feet. We'll go ball, point, demi, 5, 6, and 7. Ball, point, demi, 5, 6. Let's add an eleve, ball, point, eleve, ball, point, pushing into the floor, ball, point, lengthening long in opposition, 5, 6, and 7. We'll do our prances for 8 and 3, up by 4, opening 5, and 6 and 7 and 8. Left foot for 1 and 2 and 3. Up by 4, coming down 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Demi-plie and gently stretch. Open to first position, arms in second, 6, 7, we'll go 1, 2 and 3, up by 4, opening 5 and 6, a 7 and 8. Left foot for 1 and 2, just working through the feet, a toe, ball, heel, and a 7 and 8. Right side for 1 and 2, a 3, up by 4, left foot for 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. Right side for 1 and 2, left side for 1 and 2 and a single and single and single and single. Nice demi-plie. Rotating from the hips to work your turn out. Go ahead and shake that out. Relaxing the muscles. Releasing everything off the bone. Let's take it to a grand plie. You can rest the elbows on the inner thighs, dropping the top of the head, let the neck go. Breathing into the hips, finding more space with every exhale. Let's place both hands on the inner thighs, releasing the right shoulder, open the chest, take the focus up. Release the left shoulder, open the chest, take the focus up to a high release. Transition to a nice wide second parallel. Walk the hands forward, shake out the head, yes. And gently side to side, up and down, and ear to ear. Let's take our hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, drop the top of the head deeper into the floor, take the hands further towards the sky. Let's release the arms, demi-plie to contract, roll up, 6, 7, and good. We'll just do a nice short stretch today and get right into the choreography. So this class will only be 30 minutes long. So thank you for joining me live, all 3 people, thank you. So my movement is flow. So really embodying the idea of fluid transitions, very nice and connected in the movement, very organic to you. So how I do it is how I feel, but how it is in your body will be different. So really, I encourage you to find a way to make it feel natural in your body. So let's start in our space. We'll start in a nice parallel hip width apart. I'm gonna wave my hands back and forward. So my hands lead with the fingertips. I go back, then I dive under and I go forward. So I go womb, just like water. I'm gonna slide my right foot back on the womb. Womb. So I have a nice profile. Womb. So nice and fluid, just like water. We have womb. From here, I'm gonna brush my left foot in and out. So I do a nice little whoop. I want you to think of releasing from the hip. So not controlling the movement so it's tight, but really let it flop. And then I also release from the knee. So releasing the thigh from the hip, releasing the calf from the knee. So I go foo. So the first 2 movements, very nice and fluid. We go womb, and whoo. From here, I'm gonna transition my weight. So nice weight transfer to the left side. I'm gonna isolate my torso. I'm gonna go forward, around, and. So nice isolation. So my chest opens and it circles around to the right. So I go forward and up. I'm gonna bring back that isolation to the left side. So I go forward, around, boom, by pushing my right shoulder inward. So I stop that circulation with the right shoulder. Woo. The arms will stay after we do the first move. So we go back and stay, 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 woo. So we're just following the wave of the body, keeping the frame of the arm. So from the top, slowly, we go dive and hold, flip, circle, and push. From here, the shoulder push, it's almost as if you're nudging something right off your shoulder. Here. You're gonna circle your hips once, big. You're gonna circle 1, 2. So you go big, hip circle, small, and then another big one. So you have 3 hip circles. Yesterday I taught a class and I focused on my improv. You imagine your hips are a bowl and you imagine filling that bowl with water. So in this hip circle, imagine water circling in that bowl, big, and then small, and then another big one. After this big one, the last one, we go hips, we go turn, and we're gonna turn under ourselves. So we have hip and. There's 3 parts to this. The first one is the hip, the second one is the turn, the third one is the head. It's gonna go out and around. So the circle and the spiral will go down to go up. So you have hip, turn, head. When you circle your head around, you finish your turn. So you first have the hip circle, you have the spiral, you have the head, and you have the unspiral. So the full turn will go around and forward, but you have a head once you go forward. So just one more time, it goes hip, turn, head, finish the turn. So it's nice and transitional. Again, this is not really about the choreography, but it's the approach. How do we find a way to spiral and unspiral? So we'll go slowly just from the hips. We have a nudge from the shoulders. We have one big circle. We have a small circle. We have a big circle. We have a turn. We have head and over. So that's a spiral and unspiral. It's a 1, 2, 3. Stepping the left foot forward. From here, you're gonna open your left arm, you're gonna open your right arm, and you're gonna finish a little spiral under yourself. So you have the circle, turn, head, and open, and pivot. Last thing that'll go from the top, just to untwist ourselves, you're gonna have a little foom. You're gonna flip the arms, shoulder, elbow, wrist, and you're gonna flip the left leg, foom. It's a little floppy, almost like a wave, boom, crashing. So let's go back and see if we can clearly transition that movement. So again, the idea of filling the body with water. We have wave and hold, a little flip, isolation, left to nudge. We have one big circle. We have a smaller circle. We have a hip, turn, head, and open, and pivot. And we have a flip. So my advice for you is to break down that movement slowly in your body to really figure out the transitions. So really imagine that your body is a container and allow that water that fills up in the body to transition from one move to the next in a very clear pathway. I think if you go in an indirect way, you'll find that you're gonna be off balance. So really find a way to transition that water in the bowl, find the transition on the turn, the head, the preparation, the open, the pivot, the flip end. So everything has a nice clear pathway. If you want to break it down in a more basic way, it should feel like a wave. You should see the water clearly going through the fingers, the wrists, the elbow, the shoulder, the chest, shoulder, elbow, wrist. So that's just the basic of it. You have that wave. But it's the same thing with the whole body. So you have a clear wave, 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 push, big, and small, big, turn, head, and open, pivot, and flip. So allow that water to continuously and clearly find the pathway and transitions through the body. So I'll give you a minute to digest that if you're with me here live, all my 3 amazing students at this moment. So again, finding a way to transition the water inside your body, finding a way to make this movement feel fluid, feel transitional, find the connections. In a very seamless way, I like to think of water. So really embodying that you are channeling water. So I'll go again from the top, and then I'll move on just a little bit. Also, happy International Dance Day to everyone. So from the beginning, we have wave and slide step, a little fouette, a little circle isolation nudge, one big circle, smaller circle, big circle turn, head, and open and pivot, flip. From here, from the flip, you're gonna crack your elbows up. At the same time, you're gonna go down all the way to a grand plie. So the elbows flip up, which initiates the movements, then your forearms, then your hands go up over your head. You take a grand plie as soon as you initiate the elbows. Here, I want 3 bounces from the knees. I want you to imagine the buoyancy of water. So if you allow a ball to float on in the water and you feel the current underneath it, there's this nice buoyancy. So I want this buoyancy in your bounce. So I'm just taking a nice demi, demi, demi. You can also think of a basketball dribbling. So here, I did my elbows and I come to a grand plie. My arms are just gonna react to my bounce. So I have a bounce, bounce, bounce. So it's nice and fluid. Bounce, bounce, bounce. From here, I'm gonna wave to my left side. I'm gonna go out and through. Out and through. I'm gonna continue my right hand to slice through the space. Then it's gonna have me unspiral so I come up to standing. So here, I'm kneeling on the floor. Then I have that wave. Then I have the reach. Then I have an unspiral to come up from the floor. So allow the arm to take your movement. Allow the hip to follow. Allow the leg to come up and through. So it's very challenging, but if you find the spiral, spiral, spiral end, you'll come up to standing. So from the floor, transitioning your way up. Let's go back from the top. Again, filling the vessel that is our body with water and finding a way to transition and shift that water inside the body. We have wave and slide, flip, a little fouette, isolation, left to push, nudge. We have one big circle filling the bowl, a small circle, bigger circle to turn. The head initiates and we slide forward. Open the left, open the right, contract, pivot to the front. We have this wave crash and elbows lift. We have 3 bounces. 1, 2, 3. We have a wave to the left side. Reach the right arm. Spiral, spiral, unspiral. Spiral, spiral, unspiral. From here, my right leg's in front of my left. I'm gonna imagine that my right leg is a pole, and I'm gonna go up and over that pole with my left leg. So keep the right leg where it is. I want you to spiral over that pole. So take your left leg and wrap it around the right leg. Pull. At the same time, your arms are gonna wave up and over. So your arms go to the left and around. Nice and transitional, we go up and over. You're gonna continue waving one more time over your right side. You're gonna go up and over. So you have 2 waves. You have up and over, around and over. I want 2 pulses. You're gonna pulse 1, you're gonna pulse 2. And here, I think of the wrists, initiating the movement, and the fingers just reacting to that flick. So it's very minimal in the movement, but the feeling behind it is very powerful. So even though the choreography is very small, you can really bring it to life with the intention. So let's go back from the break of the elbows, and then I will continue. So we have on the floor, we have 3 bounces. Bounce, bounce, bounce. We have a wave. We have a reach, spiral, spiral, unspiral, wrap around the pole, and circle. We have 2 flicks, flick, flick. On the second flick, you're going to do a passe suspension off balance. So you have flick, flick. I want you to take your right leg to cross your left, and you're gonna fall off your center and to the right. So I want you to think of pushing your hip up and out to the right side. Go up and out. If you can suspend that, just hold, not really hold, but lengthen, lengthen, lengthen as you fall. So you have lengthen, 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 fall. So let's go back. So let's go from the 3 bounces. We have bounce, 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 wave, spiral, spiral, unspiral, around the pole, wave, flick, flick, passe, suspend. A lot of spirally movements. I'm gonna give you a moment to work on that. So again, as I'm paused here, I do want to reiterate that it's really not just about the choreography or the outline of the movement. It's really about how you as an artist can take this outline and fill it in with your artistry. How can you fill in this movement with your texture, your feelings, your intentions? How can you explore this movement so it becomes something very organic to you and something very new to watch? So how one person does it is not how another person does it. So really find your own individual voice within this movement. And I do believe it's very challenging work, and I'm glad if you are taking this class, you have taken this challenge. Because for me, dance is interesting when we do something new, something uncharted, something that hasn't been done before. So, always finding a new way to do something. I love to, in my choreography for class anyway, break out of lines. I'm really not that interested in lines. I'm really interested in fluid movement. How can we make this movement shift and flow and transition and connect in a very 3-dimensional circular way? So as you continue to approach this choreography, don't think of it as linear or structure. Think of it as exploration and circularity. So from the top, and then there's not that much more. We have wave and slide, up, flip, and isolation, nudge, 1 big circle, small circle, big circle, turn, head, and open and contract, wave, crash, elbows, and bounce, 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 wave, reach, spiral, unspiral, up and over the pole, around the head, flick 1, flick 2, passe, end. You finish the passe off center in a fourth position lunge. I want you to slide your left foot in to meet your right leg. Take it to a nice susu, then fall off center and flip your hips. So you're gonna slide your left foot in, susu, and flip the hips. So as soon as you bring it to susu, you're gonna turn out the right leg, rotating from the hip to face the other direction. So you go up, flip, and. One last spiral. I'm gonna go up and over with my arms, 1. My head follows, 2. My leg comes around, 3. I have 1, 2, 3. So I'm just gonna bring my left leg around the last moment. 1, 2, 3. Just a nice spiral to unspiral. So from here, I go arms, head, leg. Last move for now, I want you to bring your right leg in, out, in. I really want you to think of skimming the right leg on top of the toe. So you make this nice S shape. At the same time, your arms are driving the movement. The arms will go left, right, left. Keep this frame almost as if it's a box, but you can really deconstruct it to make it a little bit more circular. So you're gonna go circle and through. So you're driving the trace of the foot with the arm. So you go left, right, left. And if you have a nice smooth surface, this should really feel like it's skimming through the floor. Very nice and transitional. Let's go back. Let's go back from the 2 flicks into the passe off center. So we have flick, flick, passe off center, susu, rotate. We have arms, head, leg. Then we have the in, out, in. So the arms go left, right, left. Nice and easy. Let's take that much from the top. See if we can sequentially connect the movement. We have wave, flip, slide, wate, big circle around, nudge, circle the hips, small circle, big circle, turn, head, slide, open left, right, contract, flip, elbows, bounce 1, 2, 3, wave, spiral, spiral, unspiral, up and over, circle, flick 1, flick 2, passe, fall, susu, coupe, reach, arms, head, leg, drive left, right, left. So, that's all that I'm going to teach today. The movement should really feel, once you connect it, like you're skimming over the surface of a lake. So it should feel very transitional, very smooth, very fluid. I know conditions are very hard because we're not in a dance studio. And actually when I choreographed this, it was my living room where the wood was nice and smooth. So even though I'm dancing on like concrete, I'm really gonna find a way to make it feel seamless. So I encourage you to do the same, discover it for yourself. And if it's not so fluid, that's okay. But really try to make the movement feel very organic. So I'm gonna play music and we'll do it one time together and then class will be done for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me, Vive, Flow for Battery Dance TV. I'm going to end this chat and then I'm going to post it on the live story. I encourage you, if you did take this class now, to continue working on it until you find a way to really connect it to your body. I'm sending all of you love and light during this very interesting time in the world where we have moments to reflect on where we are and how we feel. So really bring in whatever you're feeling into your art. I encourage you to explore your own way to express yourselves. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.